Company name Orion Construction. Member name Aurel Yate. Date 5 July 2012. Class Development of Oral Presentation Skills. Project Proposal. Topic Lack of resistance in building against earthquake. Hello, I'm Aurel Yate, student of Department of Architecture, Civil Engineering branch. Topic that I have chosen to present is the lack of resistance in buildings against earthquakes. Demolition of buildings is a phenomenon that occurs in worldwide. It is in the wrong of humanity. But how can this bad thing avoid? I explain below. Why this happened? Why the lack of resistance? Before we answer these questions, we first need to know what are earthquakes, types of earthquakes, and where are the significant areas that earthquakes occur. The earthquake is a phenomenon which is caused by the sudden liberation of energy accumulated which causes the creation of seismic waves. On the surface of earthquake tremors or shifts occurs in the soil and sometimes also in the sea waves, tsunamis. Types of earthquakes. With sure earthquakes. With sure earthquakes are those which arise when we measure the landslide. For example, when a cave collapses. Earthquakes are weaker and have a range of nearly 100 kilometers. Only 3% of all earthquakes that occur are with sure. Volcanic earthquakes, usually preceded by volcanic eruption, that earthquakes were caused by the action of volcanic activity. The intensity and the power swings come next after tectonic earthquakes. About 7% of all earthquakes are volcanic. Tectonic earthquakes are strong shaking and include large areas of land, usually occur in areas with new ruffle when promotion and sinking of the Earth's surface are intense. Here of the earthquake is located about 70 kilometer depth in the earth and in some cases even deeper. About 90% of all earthquakes are tectonic. Tectonic occur about 80,000 per year and about 10 of them are very powerful. Seismic zones and seismic activity in Albania. Our country is a part of Adriatic Ionic seismic area, including the region of Shkodra, Albania, Western Ohrid, and or Bishop, with active line Lushnia Elbasan and Dibra, and especially that Vlora Tepelina Seka line. The latter was recently activated by shaking the country, including successive, whose origins began in May 2006. From 6 August 2006 and ends on 9 August 2006 were recorded 161 seismic events in this area. On 7 August 2006 there were 70 tremors. On 8 August 2006, 76, and on 9 August 2006 recorded 15. Laura Tepelena line seismic earthquake by specialist Laura Tepelena earthquake by seismic specialists is classified among the areas with the highest frequency swings in history, referring to the periodicity of the maximum fluctuation recorded in this problematic line. According to specialists, once in 30 years here recorded withstand up to 9, where the latter was recorded in 1968 in the village Nivis. Thus, on 20 November 1920, Tapalan with a 8-phase earthquake caused 36 casualties and 102 injured, destroyed 2,500 homes and left 14,000 homeless people. 10 years later, in Vlora and Tepelena, recorded another earthquake, which caused 30 deaths and 100 injuries. According to specialists, dozens of others were recorded during these years, but fluctuations were mild and caused no casualties in men and material damage, except surveyed split walls and houses throughout the area. In 1851, under the effect of the same phenomenon that characterizes the problematic line defined by seismologists, has occurred where a small tsunami sea wave rose up to 5 feet, causing material damage to the coastal area of Laura. During the past century, our century was swept by a wave of earthquakes, which considered worst was the one of 1905. The damage had been a very tragic, 200 victims and 500 people injured, while the recorded 1,500 homes destroyed and thousands of others had caused severe cracks, bringing the open sky thousands of families. According to seismologists, earthquake tremors with 9 on the Richter scale and as of 1st of June 1905 had shaken the city of Shkodra and surroundings as well as a substantial part of the country's north, while during to the 20th century are also recorded another, among others that of 24th of August 1924, whose epicenter was the city of Peshkopi, destroying nearly 80% of homes, with 44 dead and 119 wounded. In the years of communism shines, Diber earthquake of 30th of November 1967 destroyed 177 villages and 12 people were killed and 174 wounded him. Future of this earthquake was breaking ground on the 10 kilometers in length and vertical displacement of the earth up to 50 centimeters. Why demolition of buildings from earthquakes? We have houses that were built in the ancient times and have survived many earthquakes, but a time comes that they cannot resist any longer and the buildings come crashing down. Flats which are not constructed according to a certain criterion based on the risk of tectonic quake. Apartments was built near the sea where if a tsunami happen is not able to escape. Why can the lack of resistance? Apartments cannot resist due to the strong seismic jolt. Resistance to earthquakes depends on the oscillation. If tremblings are weak, the buildings may resist, but if the tremblings are strong, the building cannot resist. The major earthquakes that have occurred in the world with major consequences are in 1970 in Simbot, Peru. The Great Peruvian earthquake struck Simbot Sea on 31 May 1970 was a 7.9 phase. The epicenter was above 30 kilometers from the city, somewhere in the Pacific. However, the earthquake caused about 70,000 dead and 800,000 left homeless. Mudslides and the rubble that flew into the air destroyed whole village. In 1976 in Tangshan, China has the misfortune to have been the second most deadly earthquake, that of 1986, which hit the country's northeast. The quake had two strong shocks, one after another, and the number of deaths was counted at about 700,000 people, but has since been revised and is down to 250,000. In 2004, in Indian Ocean tsunami. On 26 December 2004, a strong earthquake shook the Indian Ocean floor, releasing an energy equivalent to 30 to 23,000 atomic bombs. The largest earthquake in the last 40 years caused a tsunami in the Indian Ocean, raising waves about 100 meters in 11 countries. It is believed that the number of those killed by this disaster was 227,898. In 1920, in Hainan, China, on 60 December 1920, earthquake in Hainan, which reached 7.8 on the Richter scale, caused rivers to change course and mountains overturned altogether. The destruction was extended to 7 provinces of China. Siam, a city of Xi'an, was erased from the earth. About 200,000 people dead in this natural disaster was felt up in Norway. 1923 in Kanto, Japan. Shortly before noon on 1st September 1923, an earthquake of 7.9 degrees Richter shook the whole face of the Tokyo metropolitan area and Yokohama. Violent tremors, few flat left foot and caused a tsunami that was set up to 12 meters. But the damage went on for several days, causing fires, continued collapse, killing almost half of Tokyo. In 1948, in Turkmenistan, in very few minutes, an earthquake measuring 7.3 on the Richter scale on October in 1948 turned the city into a heap of ashes. Ashgabat. Thousands of doctors, nurses, and medical staff flew from Moscow and other Russian cities to help the injured in what is now called Turkmenistan. Despite their efforts, 110,000 people died. In 2008 in Sichuan, China, over 87,000 people died in the deadly earthquake in China in 2008, and almost 10 million people were left homeless. The damage caused is estimated at $86 billion. 10,000 children died in schools, and this led to the opening of an investigation that found that 20% of elementary schools were built in unsafe manner. 2005 in Kashmir, Pakistan. Kashmir, which is the boundary of Great War between India and Pakistan, was badly damaged. A massive earthquake struck on 5 October 2005 by adding the troubles and problems of the province. 7.6 earthquake trigger phase, 79,000 dead, and million left homeless. Salvation and the rescue was made more difficult because of mountainous terrain. In 1908, Messina in Italy. According to today's standards, the earthquake that struck Messina belt that separates Sicily from Calabria region on 28 December 1908 was 7.5 phase. A tsunami wave up followed by about 80 meters and being stranded on the Italian coast. More than 80,000 people were killed and dozens of towns were destroyed. Messina refugees settled in the Italian cities. In 2010, in Haiti, on 12 January 2010, in Haiti occurred one of the largest earthquakes in the world and destroyed cities most affected by the earthquake were Laujana, Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti. It did in Haiti, one per four of people have died. About 200,000 people were dead when found, and thousands of others have not been found yet. Residents of southern Haiti, especially the surroundings of the capital, have lost their homes. How to avoid the massive demolition of buildings to earthquake? How to make a precise evaluation of the structures in areas most affected by earthquakes? Once problems or concerns have been detected, then precautions need to be put in place to stop the construction of various facilities. After the discovery of the problematic structures or areas, as engineers, we must take a look at the land composition. If the soil is able to withstand a multi-story structure or not. After analysis and the issue of the certificate of completion, we are ready to begin the work of preparing the land for the foundation of a facility. This is important part of development and sets the stage for the foundation. Then we pass to another phase equally important, which is the setting of the building. The foundation of this building needs to be strong and able to resistance to the swings and tremors. The correct mixture of iron and concrete enables the facility to resist the deployment of tectonic plates. As engineer, we need not abuse the size of the building because it may contain a risk of resistance. Albania is a very safe country. This earthquake does not indicate to the people life. If someone wants to build something in our country, he may do directly. Our land can resist higher buildings if they respect engineers' role. You are welcome to our beauty beauty country, Albania. Thank you very much.